Hello, everyone, and welcome to RedVsRed podcast, your new favorite Manchester United fan channel. Lots of things to go over today, for sure. It's been a really good week or so for Manchester United fans, and I'm really excited to talk about all of that. But first things first, I want to give my apologies to Christian Eriksen for some things that I said in the for or against that I did not actually mean. It was most certainly for the sake of the argument. I do not, in fact, think that you are a bang average player, and good on you for everything that you've been doing for the club. Loved watching you play against Barnsley. Phenomenal performance. Really appreciated that. So definitely keep up the good work. You do deserve more minutes. Let's get that out there right now. I'm going to have to eat my words to Saf and say that out loud. You definitely deserve more minutes. You've been playing really well, and I'm looking forward to seeing you play a bit more in a Manchester United shirt throughout this season. So, if you guys are new to the channel, I'm Sporadiclese. I do my one-on-one videos with you all over the course of this Friday afternoon, and I just kind of give my opinions and thoughts on Manchester United and where we are and upcoming events and some of the things that are kind of progressing within the club. And so, yeah, definitely feel free to give us a follow or hit that subscribe button on YouTube. And yeah, let's dive right into it. The first thing that I want to talk about today is Rashford's potential resurgence. He's looking a lot better in these last couple games. I understand it's Southampton and Barnsley, not exactly the highest quality of teams, but man, he's looked good while he's been out on the pitch, and a lot of goals. And this could definitely be a potential starting point for a resurgence in his form. He kind of just needs that confidence built up, and I think that a couple of good games here and there, that's going to do a lot for his confidence. And I think that he's going to get the nod this weekend to potentially continue this little vein of form that he's found. And I think that Crystal Palace will be a very good option for him to get a little bit of a challenge, given that I think that their right side of defense tends to be a little bit scrappy, and they will be playing in probably a low block. So I'd love to see what he's going to be able to do to break that down and continue his goal scoring form. I love to see that from Marcus Rashford. Everything that he can do, it's been great. He's been a great asset for the team. We just need him to be a bit more consistent, and so this is the weekend that I think can really kick that off and really solidify that he's going to be in good goal scoring form for the next 7 games or 6 games that we have in the coming, what is it at this point, 19 days, 18 days, something to that effect. So we're going to need him, and looking forward to him continuing that run of form. I think that I would definitely back him to do it. This is the time for him to kind of step up and shine. And I think if he's on his day, he's the first person in that left wing spot on the team sheet. So um, looking forward to seeing what comes from him. And speaking of just him playing like he has been these last couple of games, it seems like United is starting to play a bit more like the United that we want to see. That kind of free flowing football and being able to to press the attack and make a lot of positive ground against opposition teams. And it's something that we've been kind of struggling to see from this Manchester United team under Eric Ten Hag. And so it's just been a lot of fun over the last week or so watching Manchester United play. And I'm so happy because I know for a lot of us, it gets very tough at times to sit there and watch us, get beat by Liverpool 3-0, for example. Not great, but it was a it was a good recovery. And I think that there is definitely the quality there. We are still kind of building that identity. We have been bringing in new players each and every season, and we've been incorporating them over time. And this particular transfer window has been a fairly significant overhaul in terms of our first team. We've got Delict, Mazraoui. Ugarte, who just came in. We've got Zirkzee. So that's four of our starting 11 that are brand new to Manchester United, and so that can definitely cause some issues in terms of cohesiveness and understanding between players. And so, I think that we'd like to see that this is the 11 that we're going to operate with going forward, most primarily, and that there's a very high ceiling for this team. And I think that's definitely something that we're going to see over this next 18, 19 days, is that we do have the capacity to compete in multiple competitions and compete well in all of those competitions. And so very much looking forward. And sometimes it can be hard looking forward to watching if that you're going to have a hard time. But I mean, we're always there for him. We're always supporting Manchester United, and so this is definitely the Manchester United that I can get behind. Free flowing, attacking, fun to watch, scoring goals. Everybody's got big smiles on their faces. I mean, it's the reason that we watch, right? We want them to do well, and we want to see them thrive, and I think that's what we're going to see over the course of the season. And a lot of players are going to possibly get new contracts. And the one that I'm thinking of right now is Kobe Mainu, who we are currently ready to advance talks with, is my understanding. He signed his first contract early 2023 while he was having his breakout season. And so he's been continuing to put in the performances, put in the minutes, and I'm really glad for him as a player and as a person, because he's so deserving of it. He's done a lot, not only for Manchester United but at the national team level for England. And so it's been great to watch him really come into his own in as a part of this Manchester United team and solidify a spot on one of the on the greatest football team in the world at the age of 19. That's crazy. That's crazy to think that he's such an integral part of our operation and how we play at such a young age. And so I think he's only got room for growth, and he's very deserving of this new contract that we're hoping we can hash out with him to extend out into, I think it's 2027 or 2028. Looking to add a little bit of time on that. So very, very happy for him, and looking forward to seeing what he can do, particularly this weekend against Crystal Palace. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up the lineup here, and we're going to just kind of dive right into it. We're going to see a lot of familiar faces here. We're going to see one that's a bit newer, and so very much looking forward to this weekend. So as I've always said, Onana is always going to be in goal. If it's the Premier League, he's in goal. He's undoubtedly our number one goalkeeper. So and coming off of not necessarily good performances per se in the last couple of games, he hasn't really had a whole lot to do. But whenever he has been called up to do so, he's done it. Thinking Southampton against that penalty, facing that penalty and saving that for his first Premier League penalty save. And so I think that really bolstered the troops and got us going forward on the front foot. So love to see him in there. Love to see him doing well. 2 clean sheets, hoping for a third. And that's going to be in large part due to the people in front of him in our defense. And so we're going to see, mostly an unchanged back line from what Eric Ten Hag likes to use in the Premier League competitions. I'm thinking it's going to be the Dalot, Martinez, De Ligt, and Mazraoui that we're kind of getting used to seeing, and it's a good thing. It's good to have that bit of consistency in your team, in your lineup, especially on defense, where we have struggled so much in the last couple of years. Obviously having conceded and conceded more goals, I feel like, than any other competition last year. It's a lot needed to change, and a lot has changed, and I think more is going to change once we have a bit more in terms of healthy rotation at left back. Mazraoui and Delo are going to have to actually fight for minutes instead of playing on either side. And I think that'll be good competition. It's going to definitely spur them on to perform their best. And, whenever we have to rotate our squad, it's not going to be a harsh decrease in quality that we're going to see. It's going to be almost a like for like in a lot of ways. And so, looking forward to seeing them continue to get to play on the same pitch together. I think they both have a lot of that attacking prowess that we want in our wing backs. And so I'm very much looking forward to this Crystal Palace game where they're both going to have to be involved pretty heavily. I think Crystal Palace is, they like to sit in a bit of a low block and counter and counter and counter. So they're going to have to really be on their game. And, Martinez, I think we had a little bit of a scare against Southampton, concerns that he was going to be out for an extended period of time, but it seems like he might have only just picked up a bit of a knock. He was on the bench there for the Barnsley game, and so it's looking like he's going to be available. And if he's available, and you're in the Premier League, I think you've got to play him. So he's just one of the best defenders that we've got, and his quality definitely shows each and every game that he plays in. So him and his partner Delic are going to be very important for this game. There's some pretty scary weapons on that Crystal Palace side with Eddie Nketiah, Eze. I believe Mateta is also probably going to start against us, and so a lot of talent there that can definitely punish us. So they're both going to have to be on their game. But I think they are finally going to get a little bit of relief from from the issues that we've been having in midfield in the form of Manuel Ugarte. I think that he's going to start over Casemiro at this point, and that's probably going to be who we're going to see in large part on that starting lineup week in, week out in the Premier League. I think that he's got too much good quality that he's already shown in the little bit of time that we've been able to see him play. And so I expect this to be one of those games where he's going to be able to come in and really run that midfield for us in terms of protecting that defensive line. And I know he's not particularly well known for his forward passes, but just relieving pressure. I think is going to be his kind of MO for when we have possession of the ball, and how we're going to be able to kind of break teams down. He'll have to hold the ball up a little bit, but I don't expect anything in terms of like long passes. I know Casemiro's been doing wonders in that engine room in terms of playing the ball forward. I think he's done a pretty good job. Yes, he has been caught on the ball, and he had against Liverpool, and that the pass to Kobbie Mainoo, unfortunate. You really don't love to see that, but then you see him play a ball into I believe it was Dalot there in that Southampton game, and it's just like, wow, he's actually still got some good quality. And I think that a lot of the best moments that we've seen from Casemiro this season so far have been going forward and playing balls through and having that vision and creating opportunities. But going to have to be replaced for Ugarte here. We just need a little bit more in front of that defense to kind of complement the abilities of Kobbie Mainoo, who again is gonna probably link up the play a little bit between defense and offense. He's going to be able to hold the ball up against any press that we might see. He's very level-headed. He can hold the ball up against multiple players and honestly break through them. And we've seen that time and time again with him, where he's got multiple opposition players bearing down on him, and he just flawlessly just slaloms through and gets our attack going. So I'm looking forward to seeing that here. I think that he's going to have a lot of work to do against this Crystal Palace team. I know that they only have Crystal Palace only has 2 points through their first 2 games, but don't let that fool you. They do have attacking options, and he's going to be, one of the primary players to kind of help break down not only their Crystal Palace's attacks, but break down the opposition on defense as well. And hopefully he'll be able to get our man Marcus Rashford involved a little bit. Rashford, like I said, has been seeing a bit of a resurgence in his form. 2 goals and an assist against Barnsley. Solid outing against Southampton, scoring that goal. So very much looking forward to him continuing his little run that he's in. I think that his confidence is probably going to be pretty high at this point, given he's had 3 goals and that assist, and he really just needed a bit of a kick in the butt, and it seems like he's kind of found that, and I think that Garnacho is kind of right on his heels just all the time. Obviously, against Barnsley, man of the match, in my opinion, Garnacho, 2 goals, 2 assists. I think Saf would agree that that was definitely the performance of the day. And so whenever your competition is that, you're going to have to step it up if you want to continue to hold your starting position. And so who knows? We've only seen it against, Southampton and Barnsley. Crystal Palace is going to be another one of those games where we should be winning it. But in those should-win games, you should be scoring if you are Marcus Rashford. So hopefully he'll continue that bit of form, and we'll continue to see him on the starting lineups. Next to him, the ever-present Bruno Fernandes. He's on the team sheet, in a starting position just about every single game, and so. I think that he just brings a whole new level to our team, to our offense, and this is going to be one of those games where he's going to be able to facilitate everything. He could very well score goals. He's been known to score goals for us. He was our top goal scorer in the Premier League last season, and so I think that we want to relieve a bit of that burden for him, and I think that we brought in some of the players that are going to be able to do that. So that he can be more of a facilitator, which is where I think he really shines. And getting in that link-up play and being smart on the ball, and finding ways to break down stubborn defenses that like to sit in a low block, like Crystal Palace. And so very excited for that. Over to his right, we have Amad Diallo. I think Diallo right now, right wing, is still his position to lose. I think, yes, Antony scored a goal. He drew the penalty and then converted the penalty against Barnsley. And so, good on him for getting on the score sheet. I'd love to see him do a bit more in the Premier League. But right now, I mean, with everything that Amad Diallo's been doing, I just, it's going to be tough for Antony to get minutes in unless there's an injury, because Diallo's just been really performing at a very high level for his age, and not even just for his age, just at a high level. Being able to take people on and get in behind the lines, he's willing to make those runs, and it's been to our benefit so much. I think Brighton was a bit of a tough game for him just because he was getting caught offside so much. So he still has some developing to do for sure. But in terms of cutting in and getting a shot off on his left foot to that back post, like Antony tries to do so often, he's converting a lot of those chances, I feel like, and so. I would definitely back him to continue to do that and provide options in terms of getting to the touchline and getting a ball across to our striker, Joshua Zirkzee. Zirkzee is another one that, I think is a very good talent that has not quite yet gotten all the way up to where he needs to be in terms of his output. He's had, quite a few moments where you look at it and you look at the opportunity he's gotten, you say, man, just couldn't convert it. And so I think he does need to be a little bit more clinical in front of goal. But aside from that, everything that I've seen has been great. His work ethic is phenomenal. His willingness to drop in and, free up space against these low block teams, pull defenders out of their positions. It's been something that we needed. We kind of tinkered around with the false nine with Bruno Fernandes and Mason Mount and, even Scott McTominay while he was there here with us in the preseason and whatnot. And it just didn't have the same effect. Whenever Zirkzee's dropping in, compared to any of those other players. And I feel like his understanding with Bruno Fernandes has been such that it's much more effective whenever they're the ones that are doing that kind of switching around and moving in and out of space. And his ability to be in the right spaces at the right time. He's had so many opportunities, and I think he's going to continue to get opportunities. And so, once he puts a couple in the back of the net, I'm definitely going to back him to keep on scoring and scoring and scoring. And again, on the topic of his work ethic, I've noticed, that he is willing to drop, not only drop in to that midfield and free up some of that space, but also whenever we lose the ball and he's in that space, he's the first person tracking back, trying to find that man that is free and mark him and make sure that we're not completely and totally out of position and caught with our proverbial pants down. So um, I really love to see that. I love to see how hard he works for us. And I think there's going to be a lot of good things to come from him as well. So all in all, I think this is going to be a bit of a cagey one. I think, yes, we do have some more weapons against the low block, but it can be a bit tough at times. I think who gets the first goal in this game is going to be very important. Because if Crystal Palace is going to want to sit low and hold and try and counterattack, then if they get the first goal, it's going to be tough because they'll probably just sit in a little bit. And so we really need that first goal, and we need that so that they have to open up a little bit and take opportunities or take risks a little bit more. So that we can iron out our own opportunities a little bit easier. So I'm going to go ahead and say 2-1 here for Manchester United. I think that we are going to be good on the day for it. I think that our quality is going to kind of speak for itself here, and the confidence is going to speak for itself. We've had a lot of adversity in terms of the first 30 minutes, and so making sure that we get through that is going to be important. But on the whole, I think it's going to be a good outing for Manchester United. We are away, so that is going to add a little bit to the complexity. But I think we're going to be good for the goals this weekend, as we have been in the last couple games. So it's going to be a good match to watch, and I look forward very much to reacting to that match with the Saffron Man this weekend. And so make sure that you're looking out for that. And the easiest way to know that content is out is to give us a follow or subscribe on YouTube and engage with us. Get some comments posted down below. We love to interact with you guys whenever we can. So feel free to, and we will definitely get back to you. There will be one of us that is going to sit down and have a conversation with you if you want to. So let's get those comments going. Let's get the follows on Rumble. Let's get these subscribers on YouTube. Thank you to everybody who has done so already, and we very much look forward to seeing more of you. Again, if we hit 100 followers on Rumble or 100 subscribers on YouTube, we will go ahead and make a Discord so that we can converse with you guys a little bit more. So definitely hit those buttons, and we look forward to seeing you on Sunday after this Crystal Palace game. So we will see you then. I have been Sporadiclese. This is me signing off. Have a good weekend, everybody, and enjoy the football.